everybody, welcome back to the Spoked Wheel YouTube channel. Today we are back with stage 8 of the 2020 Giro Rosa that we're doing with Mitchelton-Scott. Last time out in stage 7 we got a great win with Annemiek van Vleuten, where initially we were thinking that we were going to go to the line and contest a sprint, but in practice we decided to try and attack on the final category 3 climb of the day. It worked, we got a nice gap, and we were able to win from a small group of, I think, 4 or 5 riders in the end it was. It was a very nice win, very well executed tactically, so I was very happy with that one. And hopefully we can keep the success going today on stage 8. It's going to involve a little bit more climbing, as you can see from the profile. This category 2 climb is early enough in the day that I'd imagine it won't have too much of an impact, but even so, there's a lot of up and down as the race progresses and unfolds, and then this final category 3 climb looks like it's long enough and has enough sustained climbing for the race to really split up and moves to go that will decide who wins the stage. So our plan for the day is, as always, try and keep Annemiek van Vleuten in the best possible position. After the stage win yesterday, where she grabbed a few bonus seconds, we're now 13 seconds back of Kasia Niewiadoma in second place on the GC. So we're in a good position to try and keep moving on up and eventually hopefully get that first place. So our plan for the day is sort of just hang tight towards the front of the peloton with Van Vleuten, and then try and use probably Lucy Kennedy, who has the 77 hill rating, also a 66 mountain, Georgia Williams, who has a 66 mountain and a 71 hill, and then Amanda Spratt with her 77 mountain rating to hopefully set up Van Vleuten to go on the attack up over the top of this climb. And we'll see what happens. It's a short stage, 97 kilometers, so it should be quick and action-packed, and hopefully we'll be able to put ourselves in a good enough position to go on the offensive here and take another stage win. In terms of what the magazine is saying, once again, Van Vleuten and Niewiadoma are the 2 top favorites, which makes sense given how the race has unfolded to this point. Our equipment, all pretty much the lightest options we have for the frame and the wheels, which makes a lot of sense considering the amount of climbing that we have to do. And then our strategy, it's been the same throughout, we're not changing it now. Van Vleuten's our leader, we have our teammates, our free elements, and then our sprinter, Sarah Roy. So all that is good, all checks out. So we're just gonna go right ahead, get into the racing, and hopefully we can come up with another stage win. We are now on the start line of stage 8, which apparently is kind of tucked back here on this very tight bend. We have Van Vleuten luckily positioned up at the front. This road is crazy narrow and steep already, so I'm glad that she's up here in a good position. Don't want to get dropped before the racing even really begins for the day. So let's put Georgia Williams with the responsibility of protecting her, because she's a decent climber, although this race is already splitting up a little bit. This is chaos from the start, kind of what you'd expect with such a short stage like this one is. We have everyone here on automatic, so hopefully things come back together. But in the meantime, yeah, things are not changing in terms of what we want to do strategy-wise. We just want to keep Van Vleuten up here in a good position, keep her protected, and then hopefully make our winning move on this climb. As you can see there from the little profile, it's a really steep one. Should be a lot of opportunities to attack and make a difference, and then the descent is long enough that I think it should be possible to go over the top of that climb with a lead and hang on to win the stage. So that's what we'll try and do. We'll use Sprat as much as possible on that climb as well because she has a great 77 mountain rating. Also +1 on the day, so she's actually up to 80, which is really, really good. That would probably make her one of the top 3 climbers in the race. So she will be a valuable asset for us today. But yeah, we're just going to try and survive this early chaos as best as we can and hopefully come out with another victory. So we're about halfway through the stage right now. The early racing was absolutely crazy. The leading group, which was designated as the peloton, was whittled down to as few as 12 riders at one point early on as we were reaching the top of that Cat 2 climb. Things eventually came back together and a break went. It currently has 5 riders in it. Right now the peloton is 23 riders, so things are still pretty hectic. We have Gracie Elvin and Georgia Williams pacing on the front of the group, and then we have our little 3-rider train of Lucy Kennedy, Amanda Spratt, and Annemiek van Vleuten set up at the front too, just so we don't miss anything. Our plan is still the same. We're going to try and keep the breakaway and keep things under control with Elvin and then Williams. And then once we get onto this last climb, we're going to try and ignite the race basically with whoever we have left to ride in support of Van Vleuten. It's been quite a day of racing. I mean, I'd imagine that a lot of riders are pretty tired, so there won't really be a ton of domestiques to ride for favorites. So if we can get people isolated on that last climb, I think the possibility for us to take a great deal of time would be there. So hopefully we can make that happen and capitalize on it. Alright, we've still got over 25 kilometers to go, but we're in crunch time right now. As you can see, the peloton is down to a group of 13 riders. Now it's just 8 favorites. All our teammates are out of it besides Amanda Spratt, so we're having her ride at the front just to keep the pace going. There was one attack by Lucinda Brand, who I think is currently sitting 3rd overall, so if possible, we want to avoid letting moves like that go. We are 10 kilometers from the top of this Cat 3 climb, so we're going to just try and have Spratt set pace for as long as she can in this flat section and onto the climb as well, and then we will let Annemiek van Vleuten do her thing. Cassia Nuyadoma is here, and she does have a teammate here as well. She attacked at one point also, but really it's a very, very limited group, as you can see. Not a lot of riders here at all. And we're getting a preview of the finishing kilometer here. Pretty flat, slightly uphill, but if everything goes according to plan, it won't really matter what the finishing kilometer looks like because we want Annemiek van Vleuten to be alone at that point. So yeah, we're kind of getting onto the lower slopes of this climb right now. We're going to keep just setting tempo with Spratt. Let's actually kick it up to 80 effort. See if we can drop some people here on the climb. And actually, let's just go 85. Go all out here and see if that does anything. And you know what? With 2 kilometers to the top, we're going to attack with Spratt and have Van Vleuten follow her wheel. See if anyone can't go with the pace. It seems like a lot of people can go with the pace. So let's launch Van Vleuten now. Spratt, you go on automatic. Nuyadoma is, as we could have predicted, the only one who can follow, and she is struggling a little bit, but it looks like she's going to hang on up over the top of this climb, although the actual climbing continues for a little while longer. We got a pretty good gap over everyone else in the race. Nuyadoma is struggling but hanging on. We're just going to keep going here at 85 effort for the descent where we can hopefully recover a little bit. The roads are really narrow, as they often are, as they have often been on this course. So it's tough for the groups behind to chase and come back, I think. We're in a pretty good spot, I would say, for the stage win. I think we have a better sprint than Nuyadoma does, and we seem to have more energy than she does too. Let's put it on relay just in case she decides she wants to work with us. I really would have liked to get a gap and be able to take time, but at the same time, this is a pretty okay situation for us. I think we'll win the sprint and grab, it will be 6 seconds, because 10 bonus seconds for us, and then a few for Nuyadoma as well. No, it will only be 4 because second place gets 6. So not quite as much of a gap as I would have liked, but I think we'll still get the win here. Let's open up the sprint inside of the final kilometer. We do get the win. Nuyadoma was able to hold our wheel but not come around us. So yet another stage win for Annemiek van Vleuten, which is great. The stragglers here are coming in now. There's Amanda Spratt. She takes 7th on the stage, so she should move up in the general classification as well. It's a success in terms of the fact that we won the stage, but didn't really get the big gap that we were looking for over that last climb. I think we did just about everything we could. We used up all our teammates that we had. We used Amanda Spratt on that final climb like we hoped to, and she, not only did she set tempo, but she also attacked herself to set up Van Vleuten. So I don't know if there was really anything we could have done different. I think Nuyadoma was just on a good day and was able to stay with us, and sometimes that's the way it goes. So we get the win. Nuyadoma on the same time, then 28 seconds back to the 3rd place rider, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, and over a minute back to the 6th place rider. So big gaps, just not big gaps between us and the rider that we needed to get time on. But looking at the general classification, we are now 9 seconds back, so that makes sense because we get 10 bonus seconds for winning the stage. Nuyadoma gets 6 for finishing 2nd, so that's a 4-second difference. So we're making progress. We're going in the right direction. Amanda Spratt does move up. She's now into the top 10. I think she was 14th at the start of the stage, so that's great. Yeah, we're making progress. We're continuing to pick up seconds here and there. So we're trending in the right direction, certainly. Okay, so now looking ahead to stage 9. Another stage with a lot of climbing. This time it's sort of a climb right up to the finish. The magazine once again picks Van Vleuten and Nuyadoma as the 2 favorites. That makes a lot of sense. I think we're going to have to be very careful to time our effort right in this one, because this is the type of finish where if you go too early and blow up, then you can lose a lot of time. So we're going to have to be careful and try and play it as safe as possible, basically. Obviously, we need to go on the offensive to try and get more time back with Van Vleuten. We're now only 9 seconds back. We need to keep chipping away, and hopefully even, I would love if stage 9 we moved into the overall lead. I would like to be in the position where we were defending the overall lead heading into the final stage. I would feel comfortable with that, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Nuyadoma has been really good in this race so far. We have too. We've won a lot of stages, and it's really coming down to the wire here between the top 2 riders in the race. So it's going to be an exciting finish. Make sure you stay tuned if you've been enjoying the series so far for stages 9 and 10, because just about anything could happen at this point. I hope that we get the win, but it's also entirely possible that Nuyadoma will hang on and win the overall, so it should be an exciting finale. Thank you to everyone who did watch and has been following along with the series. I appreciate it. As always, I'm going to put the links to the Steam Workshop pages of the mods that I'm using to do this series, so that if you see it and you decide that you want to play some women's World Tour races on PCM 20 as well, you can sort that out on the Steam Workshop. But yeah, I think that's about it for this time. So as always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.